It's good to see y'all on here. We all right. Shalom, y'all. We're gonna do, as you can tell by the title, we're doing a Proverbs chapter 3 Bible study. We just did Proverbs chapter 2. Got through there, and as you're gonna see, we're gonna go through chapter 3, and it's gonna and something I want to note. We're going through a third chapter, telling you'll see what it's talking about, but it's telling you the same thing it's told you in the first two chapters, but it's getting it from all angles. And like I said, the Bible cannot yell at you. So what the Bible does is, instead of yelling, it just repeats stuff over and over again. Okay, that's how it drives the point home. Okay, so I see everybody coming in there. It's telling you. Okay, so good. We got we're up over there on Facebook now too. Let a couple more people come in. I'm gonna pull up chapter 3. So get your book, and we're gonna go to Proverbs chapter 3, man. And we're gonna get all the meat off the bone with it. And I'm gonna show you how stuff y'all gonna be like, wow. Okay. And you're gonna and something else is gonna do is gonna define wisdom to you. Okay, it's gonna define wisdom. So like that part 3 and moving forward, and you're gonna see this throughout the rest of Proverbs pretty much, and it's all through the book of Ecclesiasticus, otherwise known as Sirach. Is they're gonna define wisdom to you. Okay, so y'all give me 1 second right here. Let me get everything in place, and while y'all waiting on me, definitely, there we go. Okay, now it's working properly. Okay, definitely get on your Proverbs. I'm gonna have it up here on the screen too, but you're gonna see now it's gonna begin to define what wisdom is and what it isn't, basically. So Proverbs chapter 3 verse 1, it says, "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments." Okay? Torah. We know what the commandments are. Torah. Okay? And when it says let thy heart keep my commandments, it says let your heart I'm reading another word, let your heart guard my commandments, because they will, and so it's like, don't forget the commandments. Meditate on the word day and night. Let it guide you. Okay? All right. So it says here, "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee." A lot of this stuff, as we move, there really ain't nothing you can put on it. But when it says when you see people dying young, a lot. When you dig in deeper, a lot of there's not wisdom there. Again, you see a lot of people, a lot of our youth, and this getting killed by these cops because they're not dealing with them according to thus saith Yah. I showed you some of these scriptures of wisdom, the stuff Yah said on dealing with these other nations, and you don't see it happening out here. Okay. One of the ones you see getting violated in a lot of these police shootings is this one. Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. What did I say in my video the other day? We need, if you in this truth and you study this Bible, it tells you to keep thee far from him. The Most High said, come out from among them. Be ye separate. Okay? Wisdom. Commandments. He's telling you. So you don't partake of these curses that are going to come upon. I'm sitting there telling people, I'm doing it myself. I'm working on it myself. I'm trying to move out away from all this stuff. I'm trying to move out on some land somewhere. Away from these heathens. To keep far from them that have the power to kill. Who do people have the power to kill? Man, y'all people who live in these cities, woo! And you know these cops don't like you. They already showed you most of them is in white supremacist organizations. And not only will you live around them and they occupy your neighborhood, you will call them to protect you. Do I really need to go all the way into that? Nah, I'm not going to get off track with it. But it's Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 13 says this. Look, I'm going to put it back up here. I read it in the other one. It says, keep thee far from the man that have power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And a lot of people in these cities, they live in apartments, subdivisions, all this stuff like that. They don't know. They doubt. They don't know. They're like, well, we're just at the mercy of them. They're going to kill us. He said, keep far from them. Go live in a rural area where nobody's around. And if thou come unto him, so now he's even told you if you do come in contact with these people who have the power to kill you, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Okay? Y'all can just read that for yourself. That's Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9, verse 13. Let's back it up with book. Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly. No, debate with him and go back and forth and get angry and mouth off and act like a emotional nut. No, agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. And then when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So if you do what the book say right here, when you're dealing with these other nations, you'll be at peace with them. They're not going to be putting a bullet in your head. But I've said all that to go back to this. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. What will add that? His commandments. Yah's commandments. Booking it. Doing what the book said. All right. Let not mercy, truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. Okay? So that being patient, long suffering. Okay? Keeping it real, keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? Them the words I use, you know. All right, let me see. Don't let loyalty and faithlessness leave you. Loyalty. That is that yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Brother said, in those cities, there are rats in a trap with no cheese. That's bad. That's bad, boy. I ain't giving y'all some cheese. Y'all just in it. So look. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Okay? And that goes back to that precept I hit y'all with. Dang it. This thing messed up. Okay. With that precept I hit you with, that Proverbs chapter 16:7. Now we're going through Proverbs chapter 3, but you're going to see life-changing wisdom in this book as we move through. We get into these deeper books. It's going to tell you, man, some life-changing stuff on dealing. Like if you apply this stuff to yourself or consider it, and you look at yourself when you're reading through this stuff, I'm telling you, it's going to change how you function at your job, in relationships, when you're dealing with people, all that stuff like that. Okay? And that's why I said here, so shalt thou find favor and good understanding. So you're going to have good understanding in the sight of God and man. All right? Just putting this book into action on yourself. All right? All right. Okay. So let me read it. It says, then you will find favor and approval in the eyes of God and humanity. You're going to have favor. And that goes to that scripture, when a man's ways please Yah, he make even his enemies to be at peace with them. Okay? So that's chapter 4. That's verse 4. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. I know y'all hear that all the time. In Christianity, that's one of they 48 laws of power, the art of seduction, NLP, Robert Greene manipulation scriptures they put on you. Okay, I go watch some Eddie Long sermons if you want to see. If you want to see the definition of neuro-linguistic programming, there's two people you can watch. Watch some old Bishop Eddie Long lessons, and you will feel his witchcraft working in you. You can feel the emotional manipulation of this dude. Or watch, what's that dude? Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland is the highest level Christian wizard out there. And you can watch a Kenneth Copeland or a Rod Parsley. You can watch some of their lessons, and they are neuro-linguistic programming masters. They are 48 laws of power, high witchcraft masters. They got that book. They on the advanced levels. Okay? So yeah, man, go watch a couple of their lessons, and you'll literally sit there watching the video. You'll feel the manipulation, your emotions being manipulated. If you can, they're bad. All right. It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So it's telling you to get your emotions aligned with the book. All right. All right. In all thine ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. You really can't put nothing on that. You know what I'm saying? But what I could only give examples. It's like, go back to, like, at my job. It's like biting your tongue when your supervisor is boom, 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 boom. I've had people at my job tell me stuff. It was the wrong thing. It wasn't putting any lives at risk or any danger. So I just did it anyway. And then they came later. Oh, that was wrong. This, that, and the other, you know. And some people might not understand that, but it's like when you're questioning everything somebody's telling you all the time, all this, you're gonna be that dude, man. I'm telling you. I did it for years. You know? All right, so let's see. If y'all got any questions on that, just let me know. All right. This trust in his childlike confidence in Abba Yah. Yeah. Because after you get biblical understanding that, okay, this way is the way. After you get that, after that, man, you just gotta go with it. Like, even if you don't understand it, you do it. You bring it out. You do it. You rock it. All right. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Okay? And that's how I operate. Like, at the end of the day, if I can't book it, if I can't see it in the scripture, I'm not making no moves on that thing. You let that book. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so look. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. All right? Now let's look at this. It says, don't consider yourself wise. All right? I used to, back in my 20s, I told you, in the other show, I was, when we were going through chapter 2, I was telling people, me and one of my ox down here, Brother Tony, I was like, yeah, when I was in my 20s, I thought I knew what was going on. Because, like, when I was in my 20s, by the time I was 23, by the time I was about 24, maybe 25 years old, I had traveled the world, worked on planes, been in wars, in the Air Force. So I know all y'all military dudes like, well, that don't count, you know, because we send our pilots in to fight the battles. We stay behind the lines, you know. But anyway, I've been all over the world, made a bunch of money, traveled, worked on planes, experienced all types of stuff, and bought a house, had my own house, you know, all the car and all this stuff. That was by the age of 24, 25 years old. No debt, good, boom. And in my own eyes, I was wise. You couldn't tell me nothing. That was 24, 25 years old. Now, here I am, 43, 44, and me and my Tone, and Tony is like 50 something. And I was like, yeah, I realize how stupid I am now. Like, I realize, like, now here I am 43, I realize I don't know nothing. And I realize I need wiser people around me, older people and all that. And Tony's in his 50s, and he's like, I'm a soft retard now. You know, he's like, so it's like the older you get, you really understand this thing that you, like, it's like I gotta get some shelves to stock, to put up all the stuff I need to get right in myself and fix and get understanding on and this, that, and the other. And it says, be not wise in thine own eyes. Okay? Fear the Lord and depart from evil. And in this more Englishy version says, don't consider yourself wise. Don't. Now this book wise, the book is wise. Like, I'm telling you. But the stuff that your flesh and your carnal nature is going to come up with for you to do is going to be pure stupidity. Okay? All right. And that's right. V's put something we're going to cover in Proverbs chapter 4. Wisdom is the principal thing. Get understanding. Tell you. And we're going to go into the type of wisdom, right? It says over here, it says, be not. Okay, so we're going to go. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Okay? So it's going to strengthen you and keep you healthy. Okay? Man, I'm telling you, like I said, I've seen dudes. I'm telling you the extreme cases for this show. I'm telling you, I've seen dudes. He made unwise choices with wives and with women. And you could physically see the results of it on them. And they'll tell you, like I'm telling you, I done met the dudes who went crazy over women. I've watched it firsthand. And I've seen women who they chose the wrong man and it affected them. And then I've seen a lot of people just from a life of making bad decisions and we're going to get into this. Boy, I'll tell you, this Proverbs getting ready to really start daggering stuff. But I've seen people just from a life of they're the sum total of their bad decisions. Like and it'll destroy you. It will affect your health. You won't be strong making unwise decisions. It says, honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thine increase. Okay? Time, money, whatever. Be about this book, putting the word out there. You know what I'm saying? Honor him with it. And honoring him with it, doing what the book said. Not sitting there. A lot of people think honoring and praising and worshiping, part of it is, but the other part of honoring the Lord and praising and worshiping him is actually doing what he says. And there's whole chapters of Yah saying how hard-headed and stiff-necked we are as a nation. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it in myself. I was it for years. It's real talk. And he says, they honor me with their mouths, but their hearts are far from me. It's like, dude, I mean, just go to your Christian church, man. Them people, oh, praise you. Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah. Oh, woo, crying tears and all this. And now I don't see none of that. I just watch footwork. And them people wicked as hell. And they give praise and worship and singing and dancing such a evil name. There's people I know, when they come up to me, when they see somebody doing this, praising and worshiping, they automatically like, I ain't messing with them. Because it's gotten such a hypocritical name that I'm telling you. Honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. Okay? So, what it's saying is, with that saying, it's talking about crops back then. Okay? Today, it would be, like me, like this computer setup. This whole computer, and I spent a bunch of money on it, and this whole setup and all this stuff. And the only thing I use it for is for what I'm doing right now. Okay? Stuff like that. Dedicating, being a servant of Yah. Not being a Kenneth Copeland or T.D. Snakes, shaking the people down and using the word as a wizard stick, All right. Increase. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. All right. And oh boy, how am I going to go into this? And the way it breaks it down is, don't reject the instruction of the Lord, my son. Don't despise his correction. And a lot of, when you're dealing with a real wise person and stuff like that, they actually desire correction. They've grown sick of erring, walking in error and stuff like that. They don't make excuses. They just, hey, all right, let's get this thing. Let's get it right. All right. All right, let's move forward. It says, for whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. And I'm telling you, something I've seen in religiosity, in the religious sphere out there, whether it's the Hebrew community or Christianity, man, when somebody corrects some of these ministries, instead of receiving a correction, the first place they run to is like Moses or Christ. Sometimes even King David. But majority of the time they run to the books of Moses and Moses scriptures. Oh, they came against Moses. They uprose against Moses. This, that, and the other. And then they'll run the scriptures of Christ. Anytime they're corrected for stuff that's off. You correct these ministries. Hey, y'all need to get your women in order. This, that, and the other. Boom, 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 boom. And the whole ministry, they go into this. They came against Moses. They uprose against Moses. And because they don't like correction, man. They don't. Y'all go look for yourself. You'll see it. I've seen this thing over and over again. All right. It says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. He's going to be happy. And a lot of people don't even know. There's people that, I'm trying to figure it out. It's pride. It got to be pride. It's pride. Where they don't even, I'm trying to figure out what the thought dynamic is, because I used to be that way. I'm trying to think back to the way I used to think. I just couldn't, my pride wouldn't let me bring myself to go through the feeling of being wrong and being the one in error and looking at myself. That's how I used to be. Like, that's how I was. And it made for a rocky ass military career. No promotions. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm a recovering rockhead. All right. And then I see it in people, man. And it's a thing where you just got to back off and let them go and let life mollywop them upside their big hard head. I mean, but that was it. And mollywop my big ass hard rock head, life did. It like, cause what'll happen, you will get humiliated. And humiliation is such a beautiful thing because it brings humility. And then you become humble. And then you realize you are a big dumbass. You know what I'm saying? And then that is the beginning of real spiritual growth, development, and forging. He got to melt you first. Yeah, man. Like I said, I be going to that scripture over here, this one. What is it? Matthew. Not Matthew. Which one was it? Matthew, behold. No, that Peter. That 1 Peter 2:18, man, that was a big script for me, It's that thing was serious. Okay. All right. Let me All right, let me keep it. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth." Yeah, and it didn't. It's not gonna be that sweet sugary bubblegum correction. It's he. You'll begin to fear him when you see how he corrects you. It's real smooth. You be like, hey, you be at work. You be like, hey, I'm gonna just do this. I was like. I'm serious. This is my thing. I'm going to just do this. Hell, so-and-so do it all the time. Now, mind you, so-and-so from another nation, he had not committed his life to Yah. He did not say, Yah, I'm going to walk with. So-and-so do this day in, day out and be like, boom. But I'm like, man, so-and-so do that every day. I'm doing it. I go do it. Airman Williams. What? Why are you doing that? I'll be like, and I'll be looking the dude in the eyes. I'll be like, what in the hell is this? I'm like, are there cameras following me? It ain't nothing but the spirit world. I'm telling you real stuff. You talking about fearing the Lord. I seen stuff. I was like, I'm going to just do this. I was like, they just did it. Let me do it. Sergeant Williams. I was like, dude. In my mind, like, how in the hell is this dude catching me? And it's, he got them spirits on my ass. I'm telling, man, I'm going to do a show and tell y'all some stories in the Air Force and when I was in the Air National Guard, some stuff that happened. And it was scary because then once I did that 1 Peter 2:18, servants be subject to your masters with all fear, and I started implementing that by supervision, man, everything changed night and day. And it took years to come to that understanding because that head was so rock hard. You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyway, but like I said, the book says, hey, tell them once, tell them twice, and if they don't receive the correction, turn such a one over to Satan. Because that's the Most High. Hey, let Satan deal. Satan will get them right. Or not, But, hey, just back off. All right. Oh, yeah. Somebody said, you be glad he corrected you. Yeah. At the time, you ain't, because that thing painful. But I'll do a show on that at some point. All right. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. Yes. Because once you get the cadence of how to walk with this thing, you're like, man, this is the key. Because it's like, this is the path through all these traps. Wow. And then you adhere to it, no matter what you're feeling, no matter what she's saying, no matter what your emotions are saying, no matter what he's saying or they saying. When you know it's book, it's like, man, just do the thing. All right? Brother Foxworth, I appreciate that, brother. All praises. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's see. It says, happy. Okay, we read it. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof thine fine gold. Yeah. Because I'm like, my pursuit ain't paper no more. You know what I'm saying? When you realize the peace and where the Most High is trying to get you, it don't take a whole bunch. Okay? All right. She is more precious than rubies. Okay? What is wisdom? Wisdom is more precious than fine rubies. Let's show you what wisdom is. I'm going to show you what's more precious than fine rubies. Here's that wisdom breakdown that I like. Wisdom is the ability to think and act using knowledge, experience, understanding, common sense, and insight. So wisdom is the ability to think and act and not use just emotions and feelings and getting deceived and falling into every trap. You're using biblical knowledge, biblical experience, biblical understanding, common sense, and insight. Like insight, you observe, you watch, you look. You see what I'm saying? And then you use your knowledge, experience, and understanding, and then you make your decision. Man, you start moving like that. That's why I see, man, people who got disastrous lives, I'm like, well, you're a fool. That's why. Period. Oh, no, I'm not a fool. It's just stuff happens sometimes. And like they can't make the connection between their lack of wisdom and the results they get in their life. All right. And a lot of times, here's more wisdom. You gotta, as a wise person, you gotta say, oh, they ain't where they need to be. They ain't ready to receive this thing. I ain't telling them nothing. Because, I mean, look, through my 20s, through my 30s, in my late 30s, the head began to slowly soften, from concrete to wood. And then it softened more to a sponge-like material, So, yeah. But a wise person, with folks, they ain't receiving it, be done, Because when the student is ready, the teacher appears, okay? But most people ain't students. But we can get into that here too, all right? Yep, applying this book to one's life, that's the core of this thing. All right, let's move forward. Where are we at on time? Okay, we got plenty. Okay. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of somewhere. We say that she is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou castest desires are not to be compared unto her. So when you see people chasing careers, they're chasing their own pride. They're chasing this. They're chasing that. And to a wise person, you could discern it, and you see how they moving. Okay, I see what they're about. Let me see Proverbs. So check this out. We're gonna break it down in the CB one. It says, her value exceeds pearls. All your desires can't compare with her. Wisdom. That spirit. You see what I'm saying? None of your desires. Get that. Because I prayed way back. I'm telling you, way back. When I first came in the Air Force, I was up there at McGuire Air Force Base. And I was going through it, brother. I damn near punched my roommates in the mouth because we was arguing and stuff. And so I went to this other room. And I was reading Proverbs because it was a stressful period in my life. And I was praying for Yah, for the spirit of wisdom. I want an indwelling of this spirit. Full dose. And here I am 43 years later. And in a lot of areas of my life, I see it coming to fruition. Where I'm able to make wise decisions. And where I receive that spirit. All right. Let me see. Let me put it back. Where are you at? It says, but I'm not, don't get it twisted. I ain't saying I'm Mr. Perfect. I'm a work in progress. I hope I didn't come off that way. Somebody said, is not wisdom found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding? You can't tell these young folks that. Because I know when I was in my 20s, man, an old man was just an old man, As I got later in my 20s, I realized something was jacked up. By 26, I realized there was something really off in a major way about me. And I admitted it. but I didn't understand to what degree. And then I embarked on my journey, and here I is. Got my platinum highlights. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, all right, let's see what we got here. We're going to move this forward. What was I going to read? Okay, so it's man is really banging on it. Let me put it up here. What side? Look what it says here in the Englishy version. It says her value exceeds pearls. All your desire can't compare with her, with wisdom. I mean, and you're going to begin to get it if you don't already. So we're going to read 15. It says, she is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Wisdom, okay? Length of days is in her right hand. So people who lack wisdom die early. And so this was something I really prayed for, the spirit of wisdom, to have wisdom. It says length of day, and this is years ago, you know. And it's like y'all took me on the long path getting it, you know. It ain't no shortcut. Maybe, but for some people it might be a shortcut. I don't know. We're going to read. And I'm even learning stuff here too. So look. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Okay? Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and her paths are peace. So when you see people they're just tumultuous all the time, there's issues, and I've been around folks like that where, man, it's just one drama. Shoot, I've been around them. It was me at one point. I had issues going on at work, issues everywhere in my life, you know, just contentions, all this stuff. And now nobody said your life is going to be a Disney fairy tale, but stuff, you're going to have stuff come. But generally, for instance, somebody unpleasant comes along, or I'll tell you what you got. You got a lot of unpleasant people people that will bring unpleasantness in your life, and they will force you and make you feel obligated to accept them. You know, I choose who I want to be around. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that. And wisdom, the stuff that's in this book, is going to weed that type of stuff out of your life. Cleanse it. It says her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Or are peaceful. Okay? All right, let's go to the next. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. Okay? And I'm going to just tell y'all about a situation. I'm going to tell you about a situation of how I operate, and then, you know, stuff I've seen. And it's just wisdom and loving your brother and stuff like that. Is like, there was a dude, and we, like, cause we, you know, me and Coy, we get real busy sometimes. But a dude, he had given me money and given me some shirts for Coy to sew some fringes on, and her machine broke, and we had some issues, and then one thing led to another, and we sewed the fringes on most of the shirts, but we didn't get it done, and we forgot about it, and we never got with him, and that was months ago. And the brother called me up, and I'm trying to remember it in my, he's like, yeah. He's like, well, you said you were going to have it, and I didn't want to call you. And I could hear him getting kind of annoyed, understandably so, because a lot of times when we do business with each other, it's sad, you know. And I was like, you know what? I was like, where are you at? I was like, where could I meet you at? And he told me where, because I wanted to meet him. I wanted to inconvenience him as little as possible, you know. And what I did, I gave him his money back and his shirts back and the fringes that were sewed on, just to go above and beyond to make sure I'm not offending my brother. Everything gonna be good, and it's gonna, you know, because wisdom and from my studying and from my biblical understanding, it's, you know, you don't want to. I cherish that brotherhood and a good brother more than I don't put a cash value or inconvenience on something like that. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, maybe that wasn't the best story, but that is how wisdom, that could have went another way. We could have went back and forth about why this happened and this, that, and the other, but it wouldn't have brought peace. But it says her ways are ways of pleasantness and her paths are peace. You know how to de-escalate a situation, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? So that goes back to, and I'm still learning this. Now that was just one situation, but I'm going back to that verse I read in the other one where it said discretion. I'm learning that. And that's a real big one for, you know, for me to learn, for a lot of people, I'm sure. But me doing what I do here with this Spiritual Combat show, it's imperative. So it's just growth, being transparent. All right, so let's keep it moving. It says, she is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. Okay, wisdom. The Lord, not money. We were reading something where, man, people are miserable. People, hell, you got millionaires committing suicide. Okay? This will bring happiness. Desiring wisdom. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. Okay? My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. Okay? And for those of y'all, you know, y'all might have tuned in late. Let me put up that discretion is the quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. So it's diplomacy, basically, being diplomatic, you know. And that's not, don't get it twisted, because it's like, that's not walking around talking like a daggone sugar fairy, you know, like a half a gayfer or something. Talking like a daggone cupcake or something. It's because, you know, I can show you other scriptures. You discreet, you consider before you move, but sometimes you got to come down the middle, especially in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's see what's going on. Yeah. All right. Let me see. All right, get back up here. All right, my son. So that discretion came up. It says, so shall they be life unto thy soul and grace to thy neck. Okay? And then another breakdown on that is, they will be life for your whole being and an ornament for your neck. So you will have a more abundant life. People will see it on you. You'll be a strong witness to other people that you walk in wisdom, how you move and how you operate. All right. Let me see. All right. So, all right. Let me put this back. Whoops, sorry about that. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. Okay? It says, then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot. So when you see people, and every time you turn around, oh, this happened. Oh, I did this. Oh, they coming for this. Oh, she did that. Oh, he did this. Hey, I lost that. Hey, this. And it's like, what in the hell? Their damn life is a damn storm. It's like, what in the... It's because they lack wisdom. They don't have wisdom. That's why they always are surrounded by issues. And the way a wise person deals with that is they tell them once, they tell them twice. You know, they exercise some patience and long suffering with them, but then they turn such a one over to Satan to let that storm run its course on their ass. And maybe they'll wake up or they won't. Because what I've watched is unwise people try to get in there. Oh, I feel sorry for, let me help him. Oh, you poor thing. And then they get caught in that storm and they both up in the tornado, spinning around, getting destroyed. And I'm no respecter of person. I've done it plenty of times. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, like that, the verse that comes to mind when I think of this is no man has lost wife or child or husband or home or this or that for my name's sake and not regain tenfold or whatever. So it's like, but people worship relationships, carnal relationships, but not, they don't worship the relationship with Yah. They don't worship Yah. And that's why, and I'm telling y'all this because I've seen it. People got every excuse in the world, be lip fumbling, and to me, you sound like Mushmouth from Fat Albert. And it sounds like a big dummy. Because it's like, to me, I'm watching your actions and you lack wisdom. And you're not studying Proverbs. And you're not desiring wisdom. But I'm going to try to impart some of it on you. And they will nicely. See, this is where people get twisted, dude. When people reject wisdom, they're like, man, get away from me. Or when they're stubborn and they're wicked, it ain't like, get that wicked Bible away from me. No, they in the Bible. They kindly and nicely and sweetly turn their back on Yah with nice sugary speech. That's the wicked people. Some of the people I get along with the best is like even at my job is dudes who've been in war. They curse a lot, you know. To y'all always say, oh, he's evil. But these dudes is straight up. They say what they mean what they say. No guessing in their movements. They just straight up. And some of the wickedest, most manipulative, evilest, diabolical people in the world have talked. The whole time they talking, there's a smile on their face and their words all sugary and sweet. And they be the evilest, most diabolical people on earth, totally against everything that's in this book. I'm just being 100, y'all. Y'all think it's a game, but I'm just being 1,000 with this thing. All right? All right, let's move forward. All right. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. Okay? Because you're going to see this stuff. You're going to discern it. Because you've done the work on yourself. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Okay? I want that. You understand what I'm saying? Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. Ooh. Uh-oh. Let me make that a little bigger. All right. We got to get that. Hold on. Where was I at? Hold on. I tried to get, where was I at? I need to go the other way. Look. We need to break that down. It says, don't fear sudden terror or the ruin that comes to the wicked. Okay. Facebook, YouTube on here. I need y'all to put in the comments what wicked is. What is wickedness? Somebody put, it's probably, you could probably put it down pretty good in four words, I think it'll be. Somebody put it in there for a second. Because it says, be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. Somebody said the opposite of righteousness, but I'm looking for is what Brother Abba Yah Israel put in there. Transgressing of the laws. And then Foxford put anything against Torah. Somebody else put transgression of the law. Opposite of righteousness. I like that. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. When these police shootings happen, when all these situations happen that you see going on out here, at the heart of the matter, I'm looking at this. Were they transgressing the law? Were they making an effort to walk righteously with his law? Or were they just enjoying their best life now in Babylon? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking at. And that's how we got to go. But a lot of people get all fired up. They get emotional when a lot of these situations happening. But you got to book it. If you can't book it, keep it moving. If you can't book it, don't look at it. There we go. We made it rhyme. You got to diligently stick to these scriptures. Because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. But you got to get to the bottom of the matter. For the Lord shall by thy confidence and shall be, for the Lord shall be thy confidence and shall keep thy foot from being taken. So I'm not confident in my rationalizing, my decision making, anything I'm doing. I diligently, all right, what should I do here? All right, let me see what the books say. I'm confident in what's written in Thus saith Yah in this situation. So let me seek an answer in this book. Do it line up with the book? For the Lord shall be thy confidence. Let's see what else. Let's see what it says in the word down there. It says, the Lord will be your confidence. He will guard your feet from being snared. There you go. It's not complicated. It's just a mind rewiring. A lot of people's wires are crossed, and that's why they wrestle with simple stuff. And it's like, you tell people their wires are crossed, you tell them this, but as soon as that emotional impulse comes up, it don't go through a filter, it don't go through nothing. It just comes straight. It's act off emotion. That's my God. All right. Let me see this. It says, withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. Hey, what time is it, man? All right, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, man. We could park the car in that one. It says, withhold not good from them to whom it is due. What if it's not due to them? What if good is not due to them? How do you know good is not due to someone? You see what I'm saying? That's a whole show right there, y'all. That's a whole show. Knowing who good is due to and who it's not. And how you going to know who good is due to? Well, who's good? You will know them by their fruits. Where the people's at? If their footwork transgresses the law, then good ain't due to them. And you're going to withhold it. Now, because this is heavy, man. People, this is where manipulation develops from. Right here. When it is in the power of thine hand to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, Kenneth Copeland, did y'all see that thing somebody posted where you had Christian pastors saying, give me y'all, you better give me that stimulus check or something to that extent. And then somebody posted something on social media showing how the Christian churches donated $0 for all this COVID thing. But the demonic rappers out there, you know, Rihanna, what's that lady's name? Beyonce and somebody else, they showed them some of the wickedest people in the music industry, but they donated money to help people. Christian churches, $0. They was saying, give me money. They're not doing nothing for the people. And these Christian leaders are worse. I'm telling you, they are worse than the music people, than the Beyoncés and all that. Like Kenneth Copeland, TD, they are worse than Beyonce and the Jay-Z's and all these music artists that openly worship Satan. Like, they are worse. People don't get that thing, man. And they tell you, even if it's not in the power of your hand, you better give me that damn money. You know, that's how they are. That's why I said that. Anyway, say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give when thou hast it by thee. Okay, let's break this down. Because this is one that's used for manipulation. Number one, who's your neighbor? Those who keep the commandments. If you break this down, your neighbor is your brother. He's someone who keeps the law, statutes, commandments. And look, you will have people in your own, people be like, they get to know you. They wicked as hell. They ain't keeping the laws. They just fellowship at the same place as you. But you know they ass wicked as hell and diabolical. Brother, you're not going to help a brother out? You're not going to help your neighbor? You're going to withhold from your neighbor? And I will look somebody right in their eyes and say, you ain't my neighbor. Because your ass wicked. And you ain't getting a nickel. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, hey, and then I hit him with this verse. And then you going to get that monkey mouth. But this, you got to diligently adhere to this thing and understand what these words are saying. Let me see something. Let me show you something to make sure. But if I like my brothers here, the solid, serious minded, like-minded brothers, man, I'm looking for stuff to give them. Yeah, I'm seeing, hey, what could I do for him? Could I do this? Let me see what I could do. Trying to figure out what I could do for him. All right. All right, let me see. All right. Don't say. All right, here we go. Let me see. All right, what I'm going to have to do, but I'm going to do this because we need to really, I need to show you what I'm talking about. All right. Let me go back here. It's going to take me 1 second, and I will have it up here. Quick nav. Proverbs. See me bringing it up? Chapter 2. And what verse were we on? 28 or something? All right, hold on. Let me get this verse up here for y'all. 28. Let's get to it. So we ain't wasting time. Oh, we're not on Proverbs 2. Proverbs 3. There we go. We still good. I got it. We got it up there. Here we go. It says, hold on. Here we go. Oh, man. Don't worry, y'all bear with me. I'm getting ready to have it up here. All right. Okay, so here we go. It's neighbor. So let's read all the definitions and breakdowns of it. Is friend, companion, and associate, more or less close, brother, companion, fellow, friend, friend, husband, lover, neighbor. For the more full with, here we go, Strong's. So basically somebody you consider a friend, you know what I'm saying? Or a neighbor, somebody you're close to. And like I said, you're not, if they're not keeping the commandments, they're not lining up, if they're not walking this thing out, spirit and truth, you're not going to consider them your friend, neighbor, brother, this, that, the other. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? Those who keep the commandments. That's basically the point I was trying to make, or that I'm trying to make. All right. Okay, let's keep it moving. All right. So say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give when thou hast it by thee. All right. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, saying, he dwelleth securely by thee. Okay. And in 29, don't plan to harm your neighbor who trusts and lives near you. So, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you how that will get twisted. When you correct somebody, a lot of people, and it's going to say it in here later, correction is grievous to fools. When somebody gets rebuked, I've even seen in the Hebrew community, they consider rebuke or a stern rebuke an attack. Okay, and then they will read this scripture: devise not evil against the neighbor, seeing he dwell near you, and don't try to harm him. And to them, because that correction is so grievous, they regard it as harm. Strive not with a man without cause. So don't get into silly, dumb arguments. If he have done thee no harm, okay? So you don't want to get in silly arguments. Like I said, if you a lot of times if you correct somebody or rebuke them, or somebody's stubborn and this, that, and the other, they're not going to receive the correction, and it's going to turn into striving, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Don't. When the book says, hey, turn such a one over to Satan. Tell him once, tell him twice. Boom. And then, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. No, you could choose some, none. So there was a thing on there. Okay, so a Hebrew went on Tony Sotomayor's show, and the Hebrew dude was trying to tell him, hey, what's going to fix us is having a higher moral character. He was trying to go into that. And Tony Sotomayor was getting all pissed because the guy didn't want to lobby his congresswoman and use the oppressor system to bring justice that never comes. And literally, like, a lot of people, in one way or another, they want to choose their oppressor's ways. when I did a show a couple days ago telling people, don't go to the police for protection. Protect yourself. Try to get away from these grocery stores for your food. Grow your own food. Go to, Yah has provided for you. Don't choose your oppressor's ways. What are some of your oppressor's ways? A lot of that food that's in those grocery store, in those boxes, that's your oppressor's way. And you eat that crap in them boxes, them ho-hos and ding-dongs and Cracker Jacks and Cheetos and cookies and TV this and processed that's and all that. I'm trying to break my addiction to all that stuff. And you go in that grocery store and get the fruit that y'all made that's sitting right there in the produce section. You get it, peel it, eat it. Get it, peel it, eat it. Some of it, you just rinse it off, throw it in your mouth. It'll heal you. It's proven to heal you. In every way, we got to stop choosing our oppressors, our oppressor. In every way, we got to stop choosing them. We can't choose their way. We got to come out from among them. The Most High gave us land to live on, to provide for us, to make a way for us, to keep us safe. You get on a whole bunch of acreage of lands, you're going to be safer. It's going to be safer. Because they can't just kick your apartment door in and come in there and shoot you in your head. You see what I'm saying? They have to drive way out there. Then they drive down that long-ass driveway on your land that you got proximity detectors and motion-activated cameras that sound alarms. And by the time they get up to you, you're going to be aware of that they're out there. But why the hell they going to be coming way out there on your land anyway? You're not living, you don't got Jimmy, the meth kitchen, operating in your apartment complex, so you don't got to worry about the cops coming. If you live in an apartment complex or a subdivision, you don't know if there's a meth lab around you. Especially in an apartment complex, dude, there could be a meth lab next door to you. Them things can explode and they're highly flammable. And eventually, at the end of the day, they're working for the cops. Because if you know anything about drug dealing, you move up so high and then eventually you come to a cop who's operating it. A lot of y'all don't know that. The cops run the drug game. I mean, a lot of y'all ain't never been in the hood and don't know, but yeah, you only get so high in the drug game, and then the person over the whole thing is the neighborhood cop running it, and you better give him his money. If you don't pay him, he gonna lock you up. He gonna put somebody else in there. Yep. So in every way. You can't envy your oppressor and try to do things the way he says to do it. And that's what the problem with a lot of these Hebrews are. Oh, you can't have two wives. You can only have one. Because Master Charlie said that. Because Master Charlie don't want me reproducing like that. So we got to do what Master Charlie say. Because he Pastor Master Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's real big old facts, man. Yeah, or the FBI, they didn't, or CIA, like the CIA was running the drugs. The CIA, and I'm telling you what they have admitted. The CIA and FBI were the kingpins of the whole crack epidemic that wiped your family out and my family out in the 80s. And they have come out, they've said it. Rick Ross has confessed it. What the CIA was doing, they were selling guns to Iran, and the money Iran gave them, they didn't want to take that money Iran gave them, the Iran-Contra affair. They didn't want to take the money that Iran gave them and bring it back into the government. They had to launder it, so they had to clean it. So what they did, they took the money Iran gave them, gave it to the Contras, and the Contras gave them crack. And they flew the crack, or the Contras gave them cocaine. And they took the cocaine, flew it into Nina Airport in Arkansas, worked the deal out with, at the time, it was Billy Clinton, worked the deal out with him. And 3/4 of the crack, I'm sorry, 3/4 of that cocaine would go to Miami, to that Elena de Blasio woman or whatever. The other 1/4 of it was going to Freeway Rick Ross over there in California. And you could look at the Iran-Contra affair with that one guy testified in front of the government on it. You can look at Freeway Rick Ross testimony, and then you could listen to that Elena de Blasio woman who ran Miami, and the drug kingpins over in Miami, and they will tell you, yeah, we was getting all of our drugs from the CIA out of Arkansas. They was flying that junk in there like crazy. Bill Clinton okayed it. What's his name? Reagan launched the war on drugs. And then he put all of us on drugs so he could launch a war against us. You see what I'm saying? And George Bush was the vice president heading the whole thing up. Man, these jokers wicked. I was like, dude, I ain't getting in your voting. I ain't got nothing to do with y'all, man. I want to get out on some land and not see y'all clowns. Okay? So, man, these people, yeah. Jeremy put the name in there. Griseldo Blanco. Oliver North testified about it. Yep. And a news reporter cracked the story and made all these connections. And they found him. He ended up committing suicide. And somehow he was able to shoot himself in the head twice. Go figure. Her name was Griselda Blanco. So Griselda. You need to look up her, Blanco, Blanco. Look up Oliver North. Look up the Iran-Contra affair. Look up Freeway Ricky Ross. Not Rick Ross, a rapper, but Freeway Ricky Ross. And look up Nina Airport. That's the connect right there. That's going to tie a lot of it in. And they got a couple movies, Cocaine Cowboys. They got a couple movies about it. So, man, these people, that was all designed, and they took all that money they got to destroy us. And trust me, they still doing it now. You going to take a vaccine from these clowns? Come on, dude. Y'all don't understand the level of wickedness that this nation operates on. And nobody has murdered more people than the medical industry. That's a whole nother show. I ain't gonna go into that. I just found some stuff out a couple of days ago that is just, whoa. You cannot believe it. Like, people don't understand how wicked this country really is. And that's why judgment is upon them. And you better get your ass out from around them and get your ass to some type of Goshen for you catch it too. Big old facts. Put a 100 up in here if y'all understand where I'm coming from. It's not a game, man. And it is a good time. That judgment has come. It's here. You know, they ain't gonna get this thing off. And you see that thing that mutated into something else that hit children now, and it's, man, y'all better start eating healthy out here, man. This thing. And then you see the weather getting ready to get crazy. Come on, man. It's real. It's real. But anyway, with that said, y'all, I hope this breakdown on on the book of, I hope this breakdown on the book of Proverbs was edifying to you. Samantha walked in here. She want to take y'all out with the chauffeur. So go ahead. You got to do better than that. It must be early for her. There it is. She's struggling. She's struggling this morning. All right, she tried. Y'all know she be hitting it sometimes. But anyway, y'all, with that said, appreciate y'all tuning. Oh, wait. You said I had 4 more verses. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me hit this. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me hit these last 4 verses. I'm sorry about that. All right. It says, for the envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. Okay? And a lot of these slick, manipulative people, they think they slick, but when you grounded in this thing and you have discernment, you see them coming. You could predict their steps. There's people I could predict what they're going to do like 6 moves out. Just because they wicked, they froward. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. And literally, what's the curse? The results you get from not doing what the book say. What's a blessing? It's the result you get when you do what the book say. And when you really doing this and walking this thing out for real, then you get these magnificent blessings. All right. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. Okay. And what's a scorner? Let's pull that up real quick. And I'm sorry, man. I thought I was getting ready to wrap it up. Hopefully, everybody's still in there. But yeah. All right, hold on. Let's get that. Scorner is a person. It says a person who express contempt and disdain for someone or something. Okay? All right. So it says, we'll go back to it. But he giveth grace unto the lowly. Okay? So all right. And that all right, here we go. Lowly, low in status or importance, humble. So when you have humility. But when there's a lot of contentiousness and all this other stuff, it ain't gonna work out. So it says, the wise shall inherit glory. And again, we define wisdom. Let's do that again. I'm going to read the whole thing. But shame shall be the promotion of fools. And let's define that, because that's the first occurrence of fools, or one of the first occurrences of fools. So we're going to define that real quick, what a fool is, okay? Because it ain't what you think, okay? So what we define the wise as is the wise. Wisdom, I thought a good way of explaining wisdom is the ability to think and act, not according to emotion, but using knowledge, experience, biblical knowledge, biblical experience, biblical understanding, and biblical common sense and insight, spiritual insight, okay? That is wisdom. Now, a fool, and it's going to define it throughout Proverbs as we move on in further chapters. But a fool is a person who acts unwisely. So he doesn't act with when he makes decisions or in life, he act and think using knowledge, experience, understanding, common sense, or insight. A fool doesn't do that. Okay? And it says it called them unwise and imprudent. A prudent person is somebody who thinks ahead. Critical thinking. Another one is a person who's easily tricked or deceived. Someone duped. And if you don't have wisdom and understanding, you're just going to go off what you feel and what's being said, and you're going to get duped. And there's a lot of people like that, and their lives reflect it. Their household reflects it. Okay? And it is the word that brings the wisdom. So it says, the wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. So so people will tell you all types of stuff, but the reason why they're getting the results they're getting is because they're foolish. They're fools. But they will tell you everything else. They'll tell you it's this, it's that, it's the other. But the fact is the fact that they are fools. All right? And that's the book. The book tells you that right there. Okay? Let's do this real quick. All right. There. Let me show y'all something else. Scorn. There we go. We're going to do the definition. The feeling or belief that someone or something is worthless, despicable, contempt. So, like, a lot of times, a strong rebuke, people will go to a scripture like that. Oh, he's scorning me, this, that, and the other. No, that's being scornful is like this prideful, arrogant, turn my nose up, whatever. You're lower than the bubble gum that's stuck to my shoe, that's stuck up, You're below me, this, that, and the other. You'll figure that out when you get around some of these other nations. You'll see that spirit. Okay? All right. Let me, what else do I got here? Let me make sure. All right. Y'all, make sure I'm done this time. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Yeah, because I thought I was done. But yeah, we're done. We're done now. But yeah, we got all the meat off the bone with that. That was good. And you got to really see that, because I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you, the reason why I went back and I had to reiterate on some of these scriptures, because throughout my life, and especially throughout this Hebrew Israelite thing, you see a lot of people, they're manipulative people. They don't want to change. This is widespread out here. They're manipulative people. They have no intent on actually really doing the work to change. And when they're corrected, they run to a lot of these scriptures. They operate in a lot of this. Because you spotted them and you're on to them, they got to paint you as the bad guy. So they say you're scornful, you're this, you're that. Because what you're going to, in some of the upcoming chapters, is going to talk about fools. And it says correction is grievous to a fool. It's like the most painful, uncomfortable. You'll see some people, you try to correct them, point them in the right direction. You see them manifesting and spirits on them. And they got to talk, and they can't just sit there and take the cutting. Big old facts. And then I've seen even worse where you tried to correct them, and in your lack of discernment, you didn't realize who they really were. You try to correct them, and then all hell breaks loose. And you're like, what in the heck was that? So you got to be aware of all these things. But anyway, I think I got it all this time. What the next one we're going to be going through is Proverbs chapter 4. I hope this was edifying to y'all. I appreciate all y'all tuning in to the 2-part series we did today. We did chapter 2, And then I stopped the stream and restarted it, and we did chapter 3. So y'all go check it out. Just read Proverbs for yourself. You know, that's all this, just to encourage people to do a self-reflection, self-audit, and read Proverbs for themselves, you know. But anyway, with that said, y'all, I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I hope this lesson was edifying to y'all. Definitely hit the like button if you're over there on YouTube. Share this and like it if you're over there on Facebook. And appreciate all y'all. And with that said, shalom, shalom.